Good evening, everybody. It's once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I am going to be doing a video response to Casting Anchors Away. And I watched your video, and I had a few questions for you. First of all, do you ever talk to your sister now that your ordeal is pretty much over with, or I assume it's over with by now? You never really told us what you thought of public and boarding schools. Did you like them? Did you dislike them? And why? You never really got into that. You said you didn't fit in. Well, let me tell you something. When I was a kid, I didn't fit in very much either. And sometimes it's kind of a good thing, because I'll tell you what, when people start to become lemmings, if one jumps off the Brooklyn Bridge, they all pretty much go along with it. And I tell you what, you don't want to be jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge any more than the rest of them. But, oh, I gotta follow along. Let me tell you something. Lemmings get nowhere. Trust me. In the end, they fall off the Brooklyn Bridge. Trust me on that. So, sometimes it's better off if you don't fit in. At least that way you can't get in a whole lot of trouble. Well, I suppose you could, but let's just say you're less likely to get into trouble if you're not trying to follow the crowd. So, you said you moved from a nice house to a small apartment. Let me tell you something. I moved from a rather decent house to less than, super humongous accommodations. But I can tell you this. After seeing people, and I have seen people in some countries, that they will live in places where they will have 7 to 8 people living in the same room. After seeing that, this is kind of comfy and kind of cozy. Let me tell you something. The less space you have, the less you have to worry about cleaning everything up in the whole 9 yards. I mean, I know you still have to make your bed and all as far as that's concerned, but I'll tell you what, when you have those gargantuan houses, you also have to do gargantuan cleaning. And then on top of that, when you get older, you have to pay gargantuan rent to stay in that gargantuan house. So sometimes having a smaller house isn't always such a bad thing. Now, I know in your situation it wasn't quite that good, but I'm just saying smaller accommodations is not always such a bad thing. Okay? So it makes it kind of feel comfy and cozy. Makes it your own little world. But anyway, you said you had developed a stomach ulcer. Do you still have that stomach ulcer? I'm kind of concerned about that. Especially, I want to make sure you get proper medical treatment for that, because that can actually get worse. It could really cause you problems later on down the road. So I'd take care of that if I were you. I was kind of wondering, you said something about trying to drink your problems away. I'm presuming what you're meaning is you were drinking alcohol. Who was supplying you with alcohol? Well, whoever it was shouldn't have been supplying you with alcohol, because that person was not helping you. They were giving you a hindrance. They were actually giving you another problem. And you look like you already had enough problems. You didn't need one more. So let me tell you something. Anybody that hands you alcohol to try to solve your problems, it's just giving you one more. They're not your friends. I can tell you that right now. A real friend would never go out and give you alcohol to try to solve your problems. That just makes matters worse, not better. Trust me on that. Now, you say, well, what about you? I mean, you're standing there asking me, well, have you ever been bullied? Yes, I have actually been bullied myself. Okay? And I'm going to go into great detail, but I was bullied myself, and I can tell you this. There are certain things that will never solve your problem. When you try to commit suicide, what you're in essence doing is telling people that these people who have bullied you for so long now have the power to drive you to knock yourself off. That's right. That's all you're telling them is, hey, this person had enough power over me that they were able to get me to knock myself off. They didn't have to do anything. I knocked myself off. That's a statement you never want to make. And knocking them off is just as bad, because then they have the power to get you to knock them off. So basically, they've driven you insane. Either way, you're in essence establishing the fact that they have more power over you than you do. And that's something you never want to do. So you say, well, how do you solve a situation like that? You have to distance yourself from the bullies. You say, well, how do you do that? Do that through academics. Okay? I came up with a system that will actually get you out of those kind of situations. It doesn't get you out right away, but it will do it. That was part of the reason why I developed my YouTube channel. if you'll go to my main channel page and scroll down through those playlists and start watching all those educational videos and learn from them, then, only then, will you advance yourself academically enough where the bully will be in one room and you'll be in the other. And let me tell you something, when you advance yourself high enough academically, you end up winning field trips. And then your guardians have to take you on those field trips, because if they don't, they're going to be tremendously embarrassed. So you really are actually putting a burden on them to take you on these special trips to get all these special awards and be a part of these special contests. And they do have to take you at a certain point. They'll look bad if they don't. So really, you're kind of in one way or another kind of getting them back for anything that they do to you that wasn't very nice. That's right, you can get them back for that. Well, hey, I've got this special award, this special scholarship, I've got to go to this next place to get it. They have to take you. And if they don't, they better have a good explanation as to why. And I don't think they want to explain that. So like I said, you can kind of get them back for anything they do to you by advancing yourself academically. You say, well, it's tough to learn. Everything's tough. Everything is tough, and I'm sorry for that. I really am. I feel terrible about that. But winners never quit, and quitters never win. I'll say that again. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. You just have to have a lot of determination. And if you'll work with me, I'll work with you. And I'm not going to stop posting videos until you get what you want. You'll get the prize. And I'll make sure you get it. You want peace of mind? Follow my videos. Watch every one of those dang playlists. Learn what I have to teach you. And eventually, you will have your peace of mind. This is a race. It's a race for your life. And it's well worth the running. And I'll help you get there. So, that's all I've got to say. I thank you very much for watching me, and I'll talk to you more in a future video, so stay tuned.